ladies and gentlemen, episode 3, Echoes. It's your boy Icon with some Marvel TV. A short episode here. These Marvel episodes really aren't that long. In our last episode, homegirl Kate just fell from the sky, and her and Hawkeye, they were taped up, to some like mechanical play horses, and they were being made fun of by the tracksuit mafia, which is still completely silly to me. But we do get some insight on the, not so much the big bad, because there is like a bigger bad than her, but our current villain, which happens to be a woman named Maya. They fill us in on her backstory. And when they fill us in on her backstory, like, they let us know that she's deaf. And not only is she deaf, she's actually missing a leg. And she, there's scenes where she's with her dad, and, her dad, like, they're doing the sign language thing. She knows sign language. And then she's talking to her head, her dad asking her questions about, like, dragons and, how does the sky sound? It's very cute. It's very heartwarming and very sad at the same time. But, her father made sure that despite the fact that, she couldn't hear, despite the fact that she was deaf, he made sure that she was able to take care of herself. Like, he had her, he enrolled her in martial arts classes. She learned how to kickbox. She learned how to fight. And it was during her kickboxing lessons, that's when we saw that she was missing a leg, and she actually had like the prosthetic leg. This is a woman who basically overcame a lot, to get to the point where she is at, currently in life, which is awesome to see. And unfortunately, during the 5-year time period of where Thanos was around, when he bleeped everybody, God, I can't believe I'm using that, where he bleeped everybody out of existence, and when Hawkeye was going on his Ronin, his Ronin kill tour, there was a scene where it actually showed Ronin Hawkeye going into a warehouse, and he killed Maya's dad. He killed, the members of Maya's gang, because apparently Maya's dad ran a gang. So Hawkeye basically killed everybody. And then, Maya went in, she saw Ronin, kill her dad. And then she went in, she talked to her dad, and he was just like, oh, get out of here. And then, he was like, it's too late for me, and I love you, blah, blah, blah. And that was pretty much it. So fast forward, now that her dad's gone, Maya basically took over the gang. And she's the leader of the gang, like, she's running the gang. And the sole purpose of the gang, like, her whole main goal with this gang is to track down and kill Ronin, because she wants to get revenge for Ronin killing her dad. So because Kate put the costume on now, Maya thinks Kate's Ronin, and Maya's trying to kill Kate. Clint's trying to talk the mafia down. Clint's trying to tell them, like, listen, the girl's not Ronin. She just put the suit on. He was just like, look at her. He's like, why would she be Ronin? He was like, this girl's like 9. And then, and then they're just like, well, why's she wearing the suit? And then, she was like, I found it on an auction. And then Maya didn't believe her. She tried to kill Kate. And then, Kate jumped back. And then there's an interpreter. They're like, Maya has an interpreter, which is a guy who also, I think the two of them, like, they're a couple, or like, or at least they got it on at some point. He was doing the interpretation for her. And he was basically trying to tell her to calm down, because she was too obsessed with the Ronin thing and trying to, and try to kill him. And the guy was saying, he was just like, you still have an organization to run. You still have, you're still taking over your father's legacy as far as running the gang. He said, focus a little bit more on the gang and stop being so obsessed with the Ronin thing, because you've exposed us now, and now there's an Avenger in our, in our secret hideout. And then after that, like, Hawkeye breaks out of the tape, and then like this really cool battle starts. He ends up losing his hearing aid, he lost, so now he can't hear at all. He fights Amaya for a little bit. He gets his arrows back. He frees Kate. Him and Kate run outside, and then there's a car chase now. And this was Kate's dream come true, because not only did she get a chance to team up with her favorite Avenger and team up with Hawkeye, she finally had a chance to use the trick arrows. So she was using the trick arrows, like the putty arrow. There was a Hank Pym arrow, and I thought that was a nice touch. Like, Hawkeye used a Hank Pym arrow, and there was a moment where Kate shot an arrow up in the sky. Hawkeye shot an arrow up in the sky. It turned her arrow big, and then it came crashing down, and it almost blew up a bridge. But but that was also very cool. Acid arrows and the whole nine. So then the two of them escape. They get away from Ronin and the gang. Like, Maya's pissed or whatever. And now that they escaped, Clint and Kate, they're basically trying to figure out how the tracksuit mafia ties in with her mom's boyfriend, because Kate still believes her mom's boyfriend is behind all this. She believes that he's the one that killed Armand III, And, you know, Kate thinks that there is a connection between her mom's boyfriend and the Tracksuit Mafia. Hawkeye decides, he's like, all right, if that's how you feel, he said, we're going to look into it. So they end up going down to some, you know, to, I guess, to one of Kate. They went, I believe it was her mom's house. It was somebody's house. It was somebody Kate knows, somebody's house. So she goes into the house so they can use the internet. And while they're using the internet, you know, like Kate's just trying to pull up some information to see, you know, to see if they can, you know, find a tie-in, some sort of paperwork, a paper trail or something. And then while Hawkeye's just walking around the house, a sword gets put through his neck, and then that's how the episode ended. And I believe the person holding the sword was Kate's mother's boyfriend. So he's in the house now. And if he truly is the big bad, then episode 4 should start with a huge fight scene, or him trying to cover his tracks and like cover his ass. Or this is one of those moments where, because it is him in the house, it's actually not him, and it's a misdirect. And like, I'm still unclear about whether or not I can trust, you know, I can trust this dude or not. Like, maybe somebody's trying to frame him with the butterscotch and everything. I don't know, but I feel like it's too, I don't know how many episodes we're getting of Hawkeye, but I do feel like it is a little too soon for the boyfriend and Hawkeye to come face to face. So if they're coming face to face this early, there's a chance that he might not actually be the killer, and it could be somebody else just trying to frame him. Let's say, but we'll see. We'll see what happens in episode 4. So that was it, and thank you for tuning in. Love the fight scene. You know, definitely love the fight scene, because we you know, we didn't get a lot. Like, we didn't get a lot of it, you know, in the first. We got some stuff, but it wasn't like this. It was like a full blown like action sequence. I do like, you know, the dynamic of both Kate and, you know, Clint together, and I want to see them together doing more Arrow stuff, because I think like the dynamic between them doing the Arrow stuff is really cool. So let's say a little bit more of that, and I want a training montage. You know, like, I understand like Kate knows what she's doing, and Kate has all the skill in the world, and she's so talented, but I would like to see like a training session between Clint and, you know, and Kate, and see how that whole thing plays out, because I actually think it would be kind of cool. Also, they were in Chinatown in New York City trying to get Clint's earbuds, trying to get his hearing aid fixed, and I'm just like, we ain't bumping into no Iron Fist. Like, we ain't see no Colleen Wing. So that was just something I was just thinking about, if you're a fan of the other Marvel properties that are on Netflix. That's it, but share your thoughts, your questions, comments, and or concerns down below. What do you think of Hawkeye so far? What do you think of episode 3? Are you cool with the dynamic between the two of them? Are you still wishing it was his daughter instead of this random like this random rich girl? And let's say we'll continue talking about it. Hit me up on Twitter, hit me up on Instagram, you know, subscribe to my YouTube channel so you can get notified, hit the notification bell so you can get notified, because like I said, we're doing Flash. The Flash Armageddon Part 4 crossover is about to happen, and we're still doing Young Justice, and we will continue to do this until Superman and Lois starts in January, and we get the return of Batwoman, and we get the return of Legends of Tomorrow. So thanks for tuning in, guys. So for some more Hawkeye action, until next time, check your earpiece, and until then, I'm out this bitch.